Let's bring in the latest business news now. Charles Pellegrin is here. He's starting with a decision from the US Postal Service. It's rattling Asian markets today. Tell us what this is about.
Stuart, a very short statement on the US Postal Service website announced that starting immediately inbound parcels from China and Hong Kong will be suspended until further notice, and adding that letters and flat packages will not be affected. This could potentially delay or fully block shipments from retailers like Shein or Temu, who ship directly to US consumers who buy their products on their website or app. All in all, this has sent Chinese e-commerce shares down. Pinduoduo, the owner of Temu, is lower in after-hours trading on the NASDAQ as well as Amazon. In Hong Kong, both JD.com shares also affected, as you can see there, almost 3.5% down, while Alibaba's are recovering slightly after initially falling.
So what's behind the decision then, Charles?
So no official explanation given in that statement, but the context is worth looking at. This comes right after US President Donald Trump revoked the de minimis rule for Chinese parcels. This previously allowed small packages under $800 in value to enter the US duty-free, and this was ferociously exploited by the Chinese e-commerce companies and US consumers looking for cheap goods. Since 2017, the value of Chinese parcels exported to the US has gone from $1.3 billion, as you can see there, to over $22 billion in 2024. The rule was removed as part of Trump's imposition of 10% tariffs on all Chinese goods, which took effect on Tuesday.
So why has that rule been removed then?
Well, first of all, because online retailers like Temu and Shein have gained a competitive advantage from this loophole by avoiding paying as much tax as brick-and-mortar clothing giants like Zara or H&M. But critics have also pointed out that it's very difficult to properly track this huge flow of parcels coming from China, and that some may contain illegal or dangerous goods, including the deadly drug fentanyl.
There are other options, aren't there, for Chinese shippers to send their parcels to the US?
Over the last few years, many companies have shifted away from using the US Postal Service, favoring private international shipping companies instead, like FedEx and UPS. In 2017, more than 600 million pieces of inbound international mail were processed by the US Postal Service. In 2022, that number was down to 200 million. So the impact could be more limited than it would seem, and there's also the possibility that talks between Washington and Beijing could help smooth this issue. Donald Trump has hinted at a possible call with Chinese leadership, and in a statement this Wednesday, the Chinese Foreign Ministry has called on the U.S. government to stop weaponizing trade and economic issues, and said that it would take measures to safeguard the rights and interests of Chinese companies.
Wider Asian markets then, Charles, what are they showing?
Well, we're seeing Asia-Pacific markets mixed this Wednesday, following in the footsteps of Wall Street. Mainland Chinese stocks losing ground again after starting the session higher. In Europe, at the open, we're seeing the major bourses opening mostly lower, except for the FTSE, which is trading flat. A lot of earnings reported this Wednesday. We'll look at those later, including Total and Crédit Agricole in France. Investors shrugging off concerns not shrugging off, still concerned over Trump's tariffs and potentially China's response. The consensus, though, classifying China's response as being largely symbolic.
Going to talk more about those tariffs now. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau managing, as we said yesterday, to negotiate that last-minute reprieve for his country from Trump's tariffs.
And the de-escalation spares Canadian goods from 25% U.S. import duties for 30 days at least. But north of the border, many Canadian consumers are feeling betrayed by their southern neighbor and are vowing to forego American products wherever possible, tariffs or no. Brian Quinn has the story.
The U.S. national anthem booed at sporting events in Canada as Canadians, fed up with Donald Trump's tariff threats, sour on their southern neighbor. Many are now even organizing boycotts of U.S. goods, with online influencers posting made-in-Canada alternatives and homegrown produce set to their own national anthem. Shoppers say they're now paying extra attention.
First thing I do are the supermarkets. I pick up, okay, if that tomato sauce has been in the US, I'm going to lay it back on the shelf.
Some chains have pulled major U.S. alcohol brands from their shelves. The province of Ontario even threatened to rip up a $68 million contract with Elon Musk's Starlink internet service over the billionaire's connection to Trump. Both Canada and Mexico have managed to secure a 30-day pause on U.S. tariffs in exchange for relatively meager concessions to Trump's demands for heightened border security. Trump, though, once again repeating a sentiment that's anathema to Canadian sovereignty.
What I'd like to see, Canada become our 51st state. We give them protection, military protection.
In response, this company has begun producing caps reminiscent of Trump's Make America Great Again hats, this time with a different message. While Trump's North American trade war is on hold for now, the president has also complained about what he inaccurately paints as a massive trade imbalance between the U.S. and Canada, saying it remains to be seen if a final economic deal can be reached.
Back to you, Stuart.
John, thank you very much. Sean Pellegrin with the business.